everybody who are bleeding. Castillo's in trouble. Leeds steps in, and the fight is over. Towels coming from Dominic Kingo. Towels there from Dominic Kingo. Let's go. Stopped. Left off.
This is Thomas Lyons of Raps on TV, here for the public workouts for Dave Allen, Lucas Brown, here at York Hall, Bethnal Green. Fortunate to be joined by British light heavyweight Craig Richards, Craig Spider Richards. How's everything going, Craig?
Yeah, good, you know, everything's going good as always. In the gym, grafting, staying ready, staying hungry, and moving forward as everyone's just grabbing onto my coattails.
Yeah. Since I last spoke to you at York Hall a few weeks back, obviously a lot's happened in recent time.
Yep.
Just going to start off with what happened yesterday. Obviously the adverse findings found in Jarrell Big Baby Millers sample. I mean, in terms of the fight that was in fruition with Anthony Joshua, how much of an impact do you think this will have on sort of the sport long term, and also the fight on June 1st?
You know what? At the moment, I don't like it will have an impact because people will think you can just get someone else in. But things like this, it can be bad. But they're not bad because no one's fault. It's not the hotels, the flights. It's not Matchroom. It's not Anthony Joshua's fault. It's Big Baby Miller. But the problem is the fans that are affected off of that because people paid for hotels, flights, and everything to go and see him, and then now he's pulled the plug on what they wanted to see. There was a good build-up, it was an interesting fight, an unbeaten fight, hungry. So now they're going to have to find a replacement in it. And some fans might feel a bit hard done by it. Some fans don't mind; they just want to come out and see Anthony Joshua. So it's here nor there.
Yeah.
Whether it impacts, but some people will be skeptical. Next time, I noticed like when I thought personally, to going back to my own experiences, like when I boxed Jake in October, everyone come out for tickets, got themselves prepared, and he pulled the plug on the week. Well, I remember when I was then selling tickets for the next fight, a lot of people were saying to me stuff like, I don't want to buy a ticket until close to the fight because last time it never happened. How do we know? The sponsorship saying, well, we could invest in you for this fight and you might pull out again. So we want to make sure we do it close to the time.
Yeah.
So there was impacts off the back of that what affected me. So it can affect the people who never actually done nothing wrong, i.e. Joshua, Matchroom boxing, off of the back. It's not good for the sport, you know? You're the biggest fight of your career. Me, I'm not at that level.
Yeah.
And I check all the stuff that I take, all the supplements, you've got websites to do that. It's an easy mistake, but you'd be extra careful when you especially got a fight like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And obviously the 175-pound division domestically is thriving. Keep kind of touching on it, but also a potential fight between yourself and Hosea Burton obviously hasn't come to fruition for obvious reasons. Do you want to not necessarily go into so much detail about the fight, but just sort of your ambitions to get that fight, in terms of your progression through to further British title honours?
The problem is, I don't need Hosea Burton to progress. The idea of it is good because he's got a decent fan base. You know, he used to be a household name. But since he got knocked out 3 years ago by Buglioni, he's not had a competitive fight. So, to be honest, if I was Hosea Burton, I would fight domestically. I heard like Miles Shinkin called him out, this guy called him out. The point is you should be taking them fights and you build yourself back in a position, you get yourself in mandatory positions where you can't be denied. You make yourself mandatory by beating domestic fighters. And that's the route that most fighters take, especially after taking a loss, especially getting knocked out. But 3 years now, I think you just sat on the sofa and you just text whoever's doing well at the time, or tweet them, or call them out, or you know, be rude or whatever he has to do to get the fight with that person. But personally myself, I'll put myself in positions, so I'm mandatory for this, so I'm doing this, I would fight domestic fights and build your way up, and that's what my advice to someone like him or someone in his position would do.
Yeah.
You know, you can see his rankings sliding down and down and down and down, and he's becoming more relevant. He hasn't got a title, he's not a big ticket seller, he doesn't bring anything to the table for someone to beat, and he's a decent fighter, so he's got to then put himself, he's not just like a fan favourite now, he's not competed for 3 years.
Yeah.
So for him, he's got to put himself in the positions. So like the board orders me to fight this guy out of nowhere, you know? He's obviously putting himself in a position to, he wanted to fight with me and he's tried to put himself in a position to get himself in a position, you know? Yeah. And for me, I'm trying to move forward, I'm getting pulled by this guy, pulled by this guy, but you know me, I'll just fight whoever I've got to fight to keep moving forward. Yeah. And I'm just advised to him, he could do the same and get himself in the mix. Simple.
Yeah, and with one eye on the world scene, obviously at the moment, a lot of the champions out there kind of competing amongst themselves. Obviously got Alexander Gavozic, WBC champion, Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol. So a massive kind of scope of world world level fighters there at the moment. Who do you see at the top of the pecking order in that division?
Who's the best fighters at the moment? I think
Yeah, in your opinion, like who do you stylistically
I think they all
like?
bring different things to the table. Kovalev the most experienced, but he's on a little bit of a slide. Not major, but compared to where he was a couple of years ago from the water fights, he's on a little bit of a slide. But Turviev, he's the least. Probably like he's a good fighter, but the least boxer, like best boxing ability out of them, but he can punch. You got Bivol, who doesn't punch as hard as them, but probably one of the most skillful fighters.
Yeah.
So you got a different mix. It depends on what you want to. I think he's one of them ones you've got to pick which style suits you the best.
Yeah.
Do you want the puncher? Do you want the boxer? Or you know what I'm saying? Or do you want the experience? So it's different angles and different looks of what you're ready for to take on when you're moving up to world level.
Yeah, and in terms of an ambition for yourself, obviously, to surpass the domestic scene and get onto these world level fights, I mean, the relationship you've materialised with the Matchroom stable, obviously, massive kind of array of fighters there at the moment. Felix Cash, Martin J. Ward, Charles Franklin making his pro debut very soon. I mean, sort of, what's the energy exacerbated in the gym like to push you on?
It's crazy because it's like they're all hungry. Every boxer in the Matchroom gym, they're hungry, pushing, they're all moving on tight level. You got Ricky in there, 3-time world champion, 3 different weights. Martin J. Ward, one British, one European. You got, all the other boys got titles. I said last Christmas, they were taking photos, everyone had belts. So it's champs camp. So, I've come up there, I've got in the mix now, I've got my belt moving forward with them, and we're all hungry, so we push each other every single day. There's not an easy day in the gym.
Yeah.
We work hard, we're all fit, we're all strong, we can all box, and we're all good. So to be around that, the energy's good, we've got a good array of team around us, and we're just moving forward, pressing, and we're hungry.
Yeah, I don't think we got to spoke about in the studio, also the interview I did with you last time, but just one last thing. Very contentious topic at the moment, sort of the scope of youth violence around London and also inner city communities and boroughs. In terms of your opinion of boxing to instill discipline into young people, what would you say your best word of advice would be for these kind of younger generations coming up?
Get into the boxing. I was brought up around that and grown into that. And I remember my mum saying to me, like, she's the most happiest when she knows I'm in the boxing gym.
Yeah.
She knows that I'm not in the streets, and she knows I'm not in the mix of that. She understood the whole thing of being around the friends, and if they're in trouble, you got to get involved and defend them. Vice versa, if you're in trouble, you can make one call and you can have your friends come and defend you. And it's a swings and roundabout things, because if you're not involved, you can become a victim. Yeah. So it's pressure for the boys growing up around all of that to get in the mix of that. But if you make yourself unavailable, being in the boxing gym, having ambition and having a different direction, then you can kind of guide yourself out of that. And it's a perfect example of myself, and you see other boys from even like everywhere in London or wherever, South London, you hear a few of the boys speak about it. They came from that background and they made something of themselves. So it just shows that, look, a guy who's come from all of that, come from South London, came from all of that, I'm making something of myself, other boys are doing it. So I just believe that there's the ways out. People thought it was just only rapping, maybe music, there's boxing, there's loads of ambitions you can do. Not even just big industries and getting yourself out in terms of you can put your head down and go and study a course.
Just a
and go and get a good.
Kind of
it's a mentality. Put hard work pays off. Put your head down, get discipline, get a focus, because there's nothing out there for them. Nothing out there. When I look back, what was you really doing out there? Wasting time, putting yourself in danger and wasting time. You've got to get out of that and have some ambition, some focus, and move forward.
Yeah, we see a lot of grassroots initiatives coming through. Obviously, projects like Box Up Crime, they'll be doing stuff a lot with the young people in sort of Haringey and other areas as well.
Great job. That's what I'm saying. It's good that, and I'm seeing there's another product coming out, knives.
No Lives, Better Lives, those kind of...
Gloves Up, Knives Down or something. There's that, there's Box Up Crime, there's all these other things, and there's a few of us like myself, we're going to schools, we talk to youth. I was running the youth, I was not running the youth, I was part of a youth project every Friday, helping out youths on a Friday. Obviously it became a bit intense for me with my camps, so I had to reduce a bit off that. But when I'm out of camps, I can get back in the mix of that. So it's all of us are trying to do our part. So for us, especially people who's been in it, to then give your experience and get people out and show them a way out, because when people feel that you can relate to them, then they're more likely to listen. They got more empathy. And I remember when I was young, if I felt like someone weren't coming from where I was coming from, they was talking to me, I don't care what you can't understand what I'm going through. But when I used to speak to someone who's been through what I'm been through, I'm more entitled to listen and take their advice. So I just believe that it's a great thing for us to do our part and everyone and the projects to keep going and everyone play your role, because you know what they say, it takes don't take a person to raise a child, it takes a community. So I think us are all just doing our little bit, it will help the youths, and we will keep an eye on them, and we do our bits, and you know.
It's a massive fight this weekend, Terence Crawford. I think, I mean, in terms of Amir Khan's chances in this fight, what do you how do you assess the fight?
Amir Khan's a good fighter. He might be on the end of his career now, a little bit on the slide, but he's got great hand speed. He's unbeaten at 147. But Terence Crawford's a different class. His adaptability, his punch power, his switch hitting. He's one of the best pound for pounds in the world, so it's a massive ask for him to beat him. And I just can see Terence Crawford doing a job. I like watching him as myself. As a boxer, I just think this guy, he can do bits. So for myself, I enjoy watching him all the time.
Craig, appreciate you giving me some of your time. I know your merch is out as well. Make sure you shout out
Check
the
the merch out, www.craigspiderrichards.co.uk. Go on my gram, _Craig Richards. Dear me about merch, you know. Love the support. You got to support Rats on TV.
Thomas Lyons, Rats on TV here for Yorkville Bethnal Green. Craig Spider Richards, cheers for the time and also getting you on the platform again. And I'm sure we'll arrange to you to come into the studio very soon. Yep. Top man.